Nerds in the simulation. Wah. Comedy Works tonight. Killing it. Throwing heaters like a guy trying to make the A's. Did you see that story? This kid's pumping 96 miles an hour. I went to my first Rockies game. Apparently, this kid was found at a Rockies game, 96 miles an hour on the gun. I think the tarp was 15 feet from the line this kid was throwing, and they signed him up, and whatever level of the A's work, they put him in there, and the kid's fucking, he's throwing strikes. He got his first inning under his belt, and how about that? How about a fucking you were doing nothing, and then now you're doing shit. That's fucking great. First Rockies game, they played the Marlins, and first time seeing Charlie Blackmon play, and a big fan. I love the stadium. 25 years, you fucking losers. Can't retire more than one number. Fucking Larry Walker can't get his number retired in that fucking bandbox. The big cat, Andres Galaraga, cannot get his fucking number retired. One. Jackie Robinson, he's in fucking all the stadiums. One fucking number. It's fucking sad. 25 years. Think about that. 25 years. One number. Just saying. Anyways, Charlie Blackmon's a good player, and let's see what else I want to talk about. Oh, if you want to, I mean, have they figured out if they keep repeating the word recession, then somehow they're gonna fucking crystal ball this economic hiccup? And you realize we have people that hate themselves and their enemies so bad that they wish economic destruction upon themselves, which would also affect their enemy, and then it would allow them to achieve the one thing they've not been able to do, and that's topple one man with the full power of the investigative agency of every single alphabet agency, the full complicit media, and everybody gunning for him. And that's why he got picked, because he was vetted since the 80s. Swung on and a miss. You motherfuckers should learn how to read. Anyways, powerful. So whereas the recession talk is not working, it's just fucking sad. What is working is, and I had a spirited conversation with my mother regarding the Beijing battling mainland China, the extradition, the fact that mainlanders have come over, they've purchased real estate. The real estate values are going up. The people who live in actual Hong Kong have to work harder in order to subsist because of what is happening, and they can't stop it. What does that sound like? They fucking gentrified an island. That's what it sounds like. And so, yeah, they're going to beef on that. And so my mom had a lot of questions about that. I said, if you look at if we just adopted China's immigration policy, where you had to fucking learn about where you're going for 3 years, you have to be somewhat legally in the country for a half of 3 years, be over the age of 25 years old, know the language, and be able to support yourself. That's what China wants. That's what the communists want. If you want to fucking come on in, that's their barrier. So imagine if we had that. I mean, the cries of racism, if you apply that same rule to the southern border. And I have an idea. You ready for this? Everybody has a driver's license, right? And if you don't have that, you have an ID card, right? And so what we would do, in one fell swoop, every single person with a driver's license, you would have your citizenship added as a QR code. You would have any benefits that you were eligible to have and how many were being employed at that time in a QR code, only to be read by the benefits process. And then you have a citizenship status. You're either in the process of gaining citizenship, or you're in a process of transition from coming across the border, getting your first ID, achieving a level of job that allows you to get the driver's license. And then everybody, me, you, everybody in this country has a driver's license or has an ID that has all of this information on it. And so if they started handing them out as they let folks in and say, hey, you've got a trial, you got to do however fucking many months down the line, here's your ID, this is who you say you are as we set you off, And then that ID allows them to access certain government benefits if they're not able to pay for whatever they are to start, or they don't have a sponsored family that's going to help them out. Seems easy enough. We're able to pass through, you're able to pass through the ability to do commerce. You're able to pass through an airport. You can pass through a point of entry. Seems like we should all be on that page. We already have driver's license. We already have birth certificates. We already have passports. Do we need to create another form of identity when we can just take an identity that everybody has, alter it by 4 different other data fields that are in the back? It's a QR code. No one can see it. The cops couldn't see your benefit information. The benefit people can't see your cop information. The voting people can only see the voting information. So they would send it out, mail it out to everybody. You get your thing, you'd head on down to the office, and if you had benefits that you had in process, then you would get signed up for those, or your ID would allow you to that process of moving along and connecting those benefits. Easy as that. Just like the same thing, and if you went and you have to go to the same office to activate your ID, and what do? You're getting a picture. They're already using the picture on your ID that exists already, but now they have a picture of you and the ID as you went to scan it. It'll be following you as you buy things to make sure that the ID is not misused by somebody else in the committing of a felony, which would be the abuse of the benefit system. And then when it came time to voting, since everybody has this ID and everybody has this license, then in there, based on the level of license that you had, would be your ability to vote, your ability to not vote. And that would be handled at the front of the building. Does that sound easy enough? Why are we making this harder than it should be? How much time do I have left? Is that a 6? I'm so blind. Yeah. So that's my idea. And like anything, if your fucking faucet is blowing up and there's water shooting on the ceiling and the walls and it's a foot deep and now it's 2 feet deep, and everybody's standing around arguing over what style of fucking faucet we're going to buy, who's going to pay for it, who's going to put it in, and what it's going to look like. And meanwhile, everybody's drowning in the kitchen because nobody refuses to go to the fucking street, turn the water off. So let's turn the fucking water off, fix the fucking pipe, and turn the water back on, because we need great people in this great country to drive the only economy that is currently working. And speaking of working, and you guys know we're in such a visual, that's why memes work, that's why short videos work, it's compelling, people understand it, and it's very simple. As powerful as someone heckling AOC in Spanish is, that's powerful. Or you've got video of the wall being made, and everybody making it is a Latino with a dope job, and they're all speaking Spanish, and nobody's calling each other a racist for building the wall. So you can have a conversation about Israel's wall, it's not racist. You have a conversation about China's wall, it's not racist. India's and Pakistan's wall, it's not racist. This is the only wall that's racist. Because as we're learning from the New York Times, the Russia Gate narrative and the hoax and being able to pin it on this guy failed, and they now need to turn the boat around, and they're aiming on full-on white nationalism, racism. You're gonna start to see that even people achieving success and success itself is going to be tied something far back in the past that's nefarious. So that as the country advances, they're going to say it's only advancing a racist agenda. And the people who have an issue with the amount of melanin in their body will just continue to go down that road, because what are you going to tell anybody? And then the people who are just understanding it for what it is are just going to continue to work, continue to serve, continue to be a great human and a great American and a great human being here on this planet. Heaven forbid Trump's tweet about Miss Tlaib. I only listen to the news, and she sounded like she was in it. She sounded very emotional. Would you go with the nickname Crya Angelou? I might. The other thing that I wanted to finish up on, how much time do I have now? I'm so fucking blind. What the fuck does that say? Oh shit. All right, I'm out of time. So yeah, okay, great. Next video I'm going to bust out is going to be on words and how they've been used throughout antiquity. God bless America.